Hello and welcome to the third part of our Delta Green game, playing the scenario Deep in the Bayou. Bayou. I never. How do you pronounce that word? Is it Bayou or Bayou? I don't know.
Depends where you're from and what your accent is.
True,
Yeah.
true. And this is a scenario. It's a shotgun scenario written by I've forgotten, Karl Lloyd, and I believe it was the shotgun scenario winner for 2020. And it's set in uh, deepest, darkest Louisiana. And for those who've watched the previous episodes, you'll notice we've got 4 players, not 2. So I'll let the players do a brief introduction, then I'll start with some sort of intros for getting the two new characters in. But let's start with Ian.
Hi, I'm Ian. I play Agent Moriarty. Agent Moriarty, as I said before, is a sort of middle-aged, slightly rotund character. He's balding, but he crops his hair short to try and hide the fact. He's clearly more of an academic than an action man.
Okay, and then then B.
Hi, I'm B. I play Agent Salem, a professor of history and archaeology. She's 62, um, knowledgeable but a little bit eccentric, sort of average height woman, a little bit wiry and thin, but other than that, she seems like your average professor.
Okay, Kyle.
I'm Karl. I play Agent Pi. He is a FBI data analysis with some combat training.
Okay, and then Tom.
Hi, I'm Tom. I'm playing Agent Ox, who is a SWAT team member for the ATF. He is in his early 30s, and this will be his first mission for Delta Green.
Yeah, in fairness, I didn't mention, I suppose, Moriarty, his day job is working for the CDC as a research doctor analyst.
Okay, so let's start first of all with Agents Pi and Ox. Right, so Agent Pi, you have been contacted by someone who is, you are informed, your handler within Delta Green, someone called Agent Oculus. Is that, as a picture just
Okay.
popped up?
2 seconds. I'm on the
Yep.
one screen. I was looking at the character sheet. Yep.
Yeah. So this, right. So this is just for Agent Ox at the moment. You've been contacted by Agent Oculus, who says that there's a mission come up that's underway that needs support from your sort of skill set, and you're instructed to travel to Baton Rouge Airport to meet someone called Agent Pi, who is a member of the team, but is currently not on the mission. Will be joining the mission as support, like yourself. But Agent Pi knows the other 2 team members, who are Agent Salem and Moriarty. Okay. And and Agent Oculus says that Agent Pi will recognise you, so he will approach you at outside Baton Rouge Airport, and the 2 of you can then proceed on from there. Okay.
Yep.
Now, Agent Pi, you're contacted by Agent Oculus and told that Agents Moriarty and Salem are involved in an operation. They need your support, and that a new agent has been assigned to work with you as well, who is Agent Ox. You're given a picture of Agent Ox and told to meet him outside Baton Rouge International Airport.
Okay.
And then you're given an address. Sorry, are we on this map? Yes, we are on this map. Good. That there is an operation, and Where did you to? Was it Henderson you moved to? B.
Oh
Ian?
yeah, that's
Was
a
it
point. I think it was
Yes,
Henderson.
yes, it was. Yes.
right? Agents Moriarty and Salem are in a motel outside Henderson, and you're given the address for them and their room numbers. Okay, and you're instructed to make your way there. Okay. Now, um, uh, both of you then get planes there. But before you get planes there, is there any particular gear you wish to take? Both of you, by the way, just to be clear, um, as one of you works for the FBI, one of you works for the ATF, it would require using your real identity rather than your cover identity, but both of you do have arrest powers as federal agents. You are both federal agents. Something that I think Moriarty and Salem found rather frustrating, that they had no formal arrest powers. Um, so you have you've got your badges on you should you wish to use them, but that will, as such, reveal your potentially reveal your identity. Yeah.
Okay.
It depends how much you're letting someone examine it. Um, and both of you will have issued pistols. Um, uh, if you just write down medium pistol for the moment, that would be a sort of standard 9mm automatic. We can work out what it is should it be necessary. But would you have some other non-government issue firearm that you wish to take with you? Um, I actually checked, and Louisiana has very little in the way of gun regulations. So you can carry most things. The only thing that requires a permit is to carry a concealed firearm. You can't take firearms into lots of sort of like government buildings and hospitals and schools and stuff like that. But generally walking around, there is no regulation about you walking around with a gun visible on your hip in a holster. It's only if it's concealed is there a concern. You can also take guns on planes, but they have to be in your checked luggage, not in your hand luggage. So, um, uh, do either of you have essentially an unregistered weapon that you want to take with you, which is something that could be um, used and not traced back to you, because your government issue firearm would be. Now, Agent Pie, you've been on at least one previous mission, so
Yeah.
this may have occurred to you as something to acquire. So if you want to have a unregistered firearm, you can. And Agent Ox, with your sort of training and background, you can also have acquired some sort of firearm if you wish. I mean, with your job, it would be much more relatively easy to remove something from an evidence locker or something like that.
Shotgun.
So
Shotguns are generally untraceable anyway, and you can go hunting with shotguns.
So you've got your service issue pistol and a pump action shotgun.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Sounds good. Scribble that in your character sheet. You also have ATF issued body armor you can take if you wish.
Yeah.
Okay. Anything else you particularly like to take?
Zip ties, knife, torch, batter, usual stuff.
Yeah. Okay.
The same stuff that I use for the other Delta Green game.
Yep. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
Quite transferable.
But probably not the high-tech computer.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. But Agent Pie, you can have a high-tech computer if you wish.
I do have a laptop on my gear list,
Yep.
along with a medium pistol, which I'm guessing is my government issue one. So I'll probably get a light pistol, personal.
Okay. And that's the unregistered one.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. That sounds good. That'll be some little small holdout type pistol. Yeah. Okay. That's fine. Right. One other thing, just thinking about it, from your role, Agent Ox, I think you'd be trained in how to pick locks as well. So,
Okay.
so you can have a
So-
lock picking kit.
Yeah. I'll also go take a first aid kit as well.
Yep, certainly.
Yep.
Okay.
So again, I'll go with the one that allows me to treat gunshot wounds
Yep.
because of training. Yep.
Yeah.
Won't worry about the doctor surgery on your team.
He
hey?
doesn't know there's a doctor on
I
the
don't
team.
know.
I know.
Right.
Even I've got a
I
little
would be
medical
offended
kit.
Yeah.
Yeah, as soon as he gets there.
Right. Okay. And you, the two of you, fly into Baton Rouge. I can't remember where you're coming from, but it doesn't really matter. You arrive early evening and are able to meet up, the two of you, and hire a car. And so you've then got about I think it's about an hour and 20-minute drive to this motel you've been told to go to. So you've had a chance to chat and get to know each other if you want to a little bit, or
Yeah.
play at Stonewall and not. Oh, I've forgotten something really, really important, by the way. Agent Pi, you have been asked by Agent Oculus to, after the mission is complete, to submit a report on Agent Ox's capabilities.
Okay. So I'll probably steer the conversation on trying to talk about Agent Ox and see what I'm meant to be looking for then.
And his capabilities and how he performed in the mission and stuff like that, almost sort of like a debrief on his personal performance. Okay. And you two chat a little, and after about an hour and quarter and 20 minutes, you reach. So Baton Rouge Airport is, well, there's Baton Rouge. The airport's somewhere around there. I can't remember exactly where. And you travel to here, Henderson. Sorry, here. Okay, and just off this highway is the motel, and then you're given 2 room numbers for adjacent rooms, and Agent Moriarty, someone knocks on your door. Sorry, you just to be clear, you two have been told by Agent Oculus that she's sending 2 agents to help you. One is Agent Salem, Agent Pi, Agent Pi, who. Sorry, actually, I remember. Actually, I don't think Agent Pi knows Agent Salem. You two haven't done a mission together. I think.
We have.
Have you?
I thought we had. Kyle, were you there for the mission with the woman in the tank?
Yes, I was. That was the only other one I've
horrifying.
played.
Yeah.
Okay. Last things last.
We have.
Great starting scenario.
Horrible.
Yes. Okay. So you're both informed that it's Agent Pi, who you both know, and because Agent Moriarty was on that one as well, wasn't he? Yep. Who you both know, and a new agent called Agent Ox, who will be accompanying Agent Pi. Okay. And there's a knock on your door, Agent Moriarty.
I'll pick up my gun, walk over to the door, check the spy hole.
You see Agent Pi and quite fit and to you young man.
Okay, fair enough. I open the door without the chain, just sort of attempt to come in. I also then knock on the interconnecting door between the 2 rooms, between my room and Sailor's room, which I'm guessing is there.
Yep, that's fine. That's I'm very happy you can narrate that. Yep. Okay, and the 4 of you then meet up, and I'll leave it to Agents Salem and Moriarty to explain what the freaking hell is going on.
Welcome.
Ladies first, I'll say.
I'll turn to Agent Ox and go, I'm Agent Salem. Put my hand.
But shake it. Evening, how we doing? Yeah, very good, ma'am. Agent Ox, I believe I've been called now.
Interesting name. I'm sure
Yeah.
we'll learn all about it.
It's old military thing. You know, you name person opposite to what they are.
Yeah, I can see.
Yeah. So I if you call people lanky if they're short, slim if they're fat, ox if they're not built like one.
Yeah.
I turn to Pie and kind of go, good to see you again. I'll put it in my hand.
I'll shake your hand. Yeah, it's good to work together again. Hopefully, this one's a little less traumatizing.
We hope so.
Yeah.
Children involved.
Oh, that doesn't sound good.
No. Sorry, I'm Agent Moriarty. Hi, nice to see you again. Ox,
See you again.
always good to meet a new fellow.
So
Don't know, we might wish you were the Ox that your name suggests, but hey, I'm sure you're more than capable than me anyway. Let's face it.
it
And I
depends
put my gun down tentatively on the bedside table.
it depends what you need. I actually, as I said, no, ex-military. Currently working with firearms for somebody. I don't know how much I'm supposed to reveal or not. I don't know, so I'm not going to.
Smart choice.
Yeah.
Why don't you take a seat? Let's talk about this. And have we still got the file and her laptop?
Yep.
Cool.
And
I
do you
give
remember
the
that?
laptop
Yeah. Sorry. Yes.
immediately to Pie and go,
Oh,
we haven't been able to crack this, and I look at Moriarty, we're not the ones for it.
I
We
grin
tried
and sit
password
down and
1, 2,
start.
3.
Yeah.
What is your computer science skill?
Mine 60.
Right. Does not require a dice roll. It's got some basic standard off the shelf rather encryption in it, and it takes you about 5-10 minutes, and you've cracked it. Okay, so we'll come to that in a sec. I'll let you
Yep.
explain. Explain.
Yeah,
Just
whilst he's doing that, I think we should
yeah,
explain what's going on, sort of thing. Yeah.
just to remind to where the system works, Kyle. I think B mentioned it earlier on, and Tom's experienced a lot. If your skill's high enough, you just do it. We don't need to faff
Yep.
around with dice rolls. Okay. But go on, Karen, explaining the mission.
Well, we were sent here to go to Butler Rose. There is a
I'll just ping that on the map.
young, yeah. There was a Oculus had sent us here to look for a young woman named I've lost her name again.
Dr. Deborah Carnegie.
That's it. Dr. Deborah, Dr. Carnegie, I should say, is a wildlife specialist.
Yeah,
What was it?
she's a herpetologist for the US Fisheries and Wildlife Service.
That was it.
Snakes.
Alligators.
Yeah, reptiles in general, but alligators was her speciality.
Okay.
Pregnant ones.
Yeah, particularly pregnant ones.
There was we went to her place of residence, which is a trailer at this address, blah 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 blah. And Agent Moriarty managed to find his way in. We found inside a lot of tech relating to her job, but not a great deal about where she had gone. We did get GPS locations from her last location of a creature she was tracking, and some pictures of two young children belonging to a group of families, two families that they're a little bit out in the sticks in the middle of the bayou. They are the.
Cormiers and the Burgons.
That's it.
Sorry, without trying to bury the lead, the reason we were called in was that Oculus or Delta Green got made aware of what she had found, or what the photographs she had taken, and we take them out the folder and pass them. And as you see, these children aren't. There's something abnormal about them, and the photographs of two children. There's 3 photographs of 2 children. There's a certain mutation around them. They've got very prominent bulging eyes, small ears, and an exceptionally wide mouth. We would assume there's been some sort of interbreeding with some sort of supernatural.
We're not entirely sure that's the case anymore.
Yeah, that was the
Sorry,
lead.
sorry. Did you say supernatural?
As
Yeah,
in,
unexplained.
The TV show Supernatural? Oh, are you been smoking something, eating something?
Well, let's leave it at that level. Yeah. Perhaps something you might find on the TV show Supernatural. Yeah.
what's the TV show? Never mind. I don't need to know.
Hang on,
It's something my son used to watch when I.
Right.
and that's something that you folks and this organisation believes in, is it? Great.
I would hope
crackpots.
Well,
at least the money's good.
Yeah. Generally, they recruit people who have a curiosity and knowledge in this sort of field. They probably strayed a little bit further away from that norm with you, Agent Ox. But hey.
Well, let's put this: academic, computer nerd, somebody who can handle firearms. You've run into something you can't explain, but you want dead.
Not
necessarily.
This is more of a case of there is a warehouse. This may deviate a little bit from what we've already told you. The family, which we visited the headman, Andre. I'm terrible with names. Bergeron. He didn't seem. He was shocked to hear that Deborah was missing. We thought that perhaps she had gone there. It sounded like she'd maybe upset them at some point by taking these pictures, and we'd assumed that they took the law into themselves and took umbrance with her presence or her meddling, potentially. But he seemed genuinely surprised that she was missing. He was the one that mentioned about something he called the meat house. And do we have a map? We can basically show them the where roughly the GPS.
So
it's there, isn't it? That's the meat house there.
So
yeah. I'm just thinking in front of us, like if we could point to it.
Yeah. So just to be clear, the blue dot is the last known, the location of the last known alligator. Can you see the map, Tom? Yeah.
Yeah, it's just that everyone's got their icons on full whack, so I'm losing half of the map. So
well, that'd be
you.
something
That's
you
a
can
setting
adjust.
for you.
I mean, my side. Why is it? But mine isn't though. So I don't know why that is. Okay, but anyway, yeah, blue dot, light blue dot, and red dot.
Yeah. So dark blue dot. That is the location of the last alligator. So Dr. Carnegie was following a specialist in tracing pregnancy issues with alligators, and so the last pregnant alligator that she was tracking, this was the position of it, and then the 2 families that they've talked about were located here. Bear in mind, Dr. Carnegie lives here in this Butler-Rose, and then this building that Agent Salem started talking about is located is the light blue dot. Okay.
It's fair to say Dr. Carnegie also had an interest in that site, in as much as she thought it might be having an effect on the local wildlife, particularly the alligators. With the local law enforcement, we did investigate the area where she was last tracking an alligator. Really, actually, the general feeling amongst the locals is that we were looking for her airboat. If she's not with it, then she's been perhaps taken by one of her charges, shall we say, by one of the alligators. But we found nothing. No airboat, nobody, nothing. In fairness, that necessarily last time she was there, but that's the last place that she had tracked on her laptop.
Just to say, just to be clear, by the way, the green here, all the sort of dark green on this map, that is swamp, classic swamp, Bayou. So it's not necessarily very deep, apart from the sort of the channels, the rivers that have been cut in it. But it's all sort of watery, flooded swamp. Okay. And also, just to correct you, something you just said, Ian. You got the coordinates from her journal, which you've also got.
Yes,
you haven't cracked a laptop.
Yeah, fair point.
Oh yeah.
I thought, as I said, I thought, but hey, I couldn't think where we got it from. The other things we found while we was in our sort of initial investigation is that her trailer, which is where she lives, and is also her workspace, a home workspace. It's not. There's no disturbance. She's obviously. It doesn't look like she's been snatched from there. It doesn't look like she's planning on being away. She still had uniform there. There was dishes needed to wash up. Her laptop was there. Let's face it, if she's away on business, she would have taken the laptop with her, and all of her tech was still there. Her truck was found by the docks where she normally keeps her airboat. Her airboat wasn't there. She's been missing for about 3 days. Well, she had been missing for 3 days when we got here. We've been here.
It's now 5. It's now. You're now the
5
end of
days,
day
yeah.
5.
Day 5, right? Okay, yeah. So it would seem that something's happened to her out in the bayou, or that's what it's been made to look like. The other thing I picked up, the law enforcement around here, they're quite lax on missing persons. There's a certain amount of, if one goes missing, they're just running away. It's a bit of a backwater place. There's no real options for young people. They go off to the bright lights. That said, when I looked at the missing persons they had posted on their board, it looked like there was sort of a pattern of every 6 to 9 months, a woman of sort of Dr. Carnegie's age, but sort of mid to late 20s to mid 30s has gone missing.
But nothing else was in common. It was just the age.
Yeah, it's literally just the age and that sort of regular pattern. The sheriff, Jim Rose, didn't really see. Well, he didn't admit to being suspicious about any sort of pattern. In fairness, I didn't really get off on the right foot with him. I tried to put a bit of pressure on, and he cut up a bit rough. But I think we poured some oil on those waters last night after the search. But yeah, we're still a bit on the outside. We did mention the warehouse, the industrial building we saw on the bayou, and he really acted strange, clammed up, didn't want to talk about it, so we moved on. But he knows more about that than he's letting on, but we weren't really in a position to push him any further on that. We have tried to get entry into the meat house, as the Carnegies and Bogans call it. Unfortunately, we just didn't have the credentials for it. As far as the locals are concerned, Agent Salem works for US Fisheries and Wildlife. and I'm some sort of alumni of the university that Dr. Carnegie attended, and we're here as worried friends. We tried an approach that we were sent by the sheriff, because this was the sort of last place she was seen, sort of. The woman we came up against who wouldn't give us her name, regardless of how much pressure we tried to put on, or I tried to put on. Yeah, no dice. We weren't getting anywhere, to the point where I think any further action from us may have led to a little bit more forceful
Escalation.
action. There is something going on there, clearly. If they were innocent and there's nothing wrong, they wouldn't be so cagey. I tried look, do you really want the federal authorities coming down here? Because we're talking about a federal employee. She was completely unmoved, as if she doesn't care about the federal authorities.
Or
That
she
gives me
didn't believe our threat, potentially.
Yeah.
We are.
It felt like go away, do your worst, though, wasn't it? It was.
It did, yeah. We're referring to this warehouse that is, frankly, in the middle of nowhere as the meat house.
It's March
it's
Industries, isn't it?
That's right, March Industries Esotech. The acronym for which is MIET, meat. So at first we thought this was a misread by the Bergeron, but we don't know what this place is. We don't. All we know is that they have security guards. It seems to be covered in cameras, and it's a place where lab techs and scientists seem to be operating from. Google has blurred out the position on the maps. It's don't like Andy. Did we do research on this place? Like, try to do?
Yeah, it does not appear you couldn't find any research about it. Its location is physically blurred on Google Maps, which there are a number of places that do that. Anything of sort of military sensitivity and so on, and there's also other things in other countries and so on that get blurred. And but that's definitely notable by the blurring. That's odd.
Yeah.
One thing you've not quite mentioned, you saw 3 security guards, one in a security office and 2 who were sort of walking a foot patrol around. And those 2 on the foot patrol were armed with what looked to you like military weapons. Yeah, and it seemed to be more than you would expect more than you'd expect for security guards. But then you two, I think you would be first to admit you don't actually know that much about guns. So
yes, yeah, we'll mention it.
So you're telling me that you've got a potential black site?
Not quite sure what that means, but yes, potentially.
Government black sites which are blurred out. They don't exist to everybody else. Obviously, they do the same to like military bases. Well, they do the same to like military bases, airfields, etc., so people can't get information. But for a single warehouse, I mean, before you said it was blurred out, my first thought went middle of nowhere warehouse, scientists, guns. You've got a meth lab.
See, I said drugs. I say to Moriarty. I said cannabis farm, but apparently that's naive. But it doesn't seem to.
Stoners don't have as many degrees between them.
Well, it's we don't believe that's the case. Andy, correct me if I'm wrong. The building doesn't have the correct amount of ventilation needed for that operation, that kind of operation.
It didn't look massively ventilated. I wouldn't say you're an expert on that kind of operation. If you've got a relevant skill, then let me know.
I've got chemistry.
You've got chemistry. What's your chemistry skill?
Yeah. Where is it? Not chemistry. It was something else that's along that. Pharmacy, 40.
Pharmacy 40. Okay.
Oh, I did work for
Oh yeah,
CDC.
Yeah.
yeah. Of
Yeah.
course.
Okay.
Yeah, he'd know.
Yeah. Okay. No, the building looks like a fairly nondescript one-story but tall one-story building with a there were a few high windows, and there wasn't anything. There wasn't sort of any um, uh, sort of air purifier units or anything like that on the roof, or chimneys or anything like that. There was probably an air conditioning unit on the roof, but that's probably it.
It's hot.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
So it didn't look suspicious, and I would say actually, I think Agent Moriarty would know would sort of you you wouldn't you'd have a pretty good idea of what a meth lab would look like, and it didn't strike you like that, no.
Yeah.
And there were a lot of cameras as well, and a sort of quite a high fence with razor wire on top of it all the way around.
The other thing is these people look like scientists. Your average meth lab isn't run by scientists.
No,
They're- they're-
that's but if you're looking at your average meth lab, be looking at tweakers doing that. This could be a large operation, so you would need, if you're doing it on scale.
Yeah, if you do it on scale, you probably
Yeah.
this place is in the middle of nowhere. We struggled to find it. There
So
will
there's
be
something
some sort of truck access to it if there was a.
at the end of the day is something dodgy going on there.
Yes.
Yeah.
It
Yes.
looks like the people's working there are working 9 to 5. They all seem to exit the building, the workers there at roughly 10 past 5. So I'm, well, I believe our next course of action will likely be evening or early morning break-in to find out any more information, which is
Before
why
we
we called on help.
Just
before
to add one little thing, because it's been raised, um, uh, Agent Ox, you mentioned the potential government black site. You have reported the location to Agent Oculus, Salem and Moriarty. So if there was any concern about it being a black site or something like that, or that's a government site, stay away from it, you would hope that she would have come back with her reporting lines and told you. Yeah, because Delta Green is a sort of unofficial agency within the government. Yeah,
Yeah.
so you would hope that someone will know what government black sites are, what official government black sites are. Okay.
or at least tell us just to keep the hell out, even if they don't let on what it is.
Yeah.
Before we
I'm
take any
sorry, I'm just going AFK a
precipitative
sec. I'll leave you to carry on planning.
Yeah,
Would you-
before we take any precipitative action, yeah, I was going to ask is there anything on the laptop
Oh, right.
about
So
MIT?
no, there's nothing on the laptop. It's more confirmation of what is in the journal that she'd been handwriting. If you remember, all the photos in there and were digital printouts, and the original photos you were given had been printed off of something electronically. And what Agent Pye is able to find is that she's got electronic copies of the photos, and the three you'd seen, and do you remember there were some extra ones? The three that you've seen are the best one of these two children. These two children are a boy and girl, both under 5.
Yeah.
And
Is there
there was something else. You found where she had the account she'd loaded them up to was she'd actually loaded it up to sent them almost to a couple of friends, to say, I've met some weird people. This looks really odd. What do you think's going on here? And there was she actually had asked friends of, do you think this is something I should go and report to the authorities? Really quite confused as to what to do. So this isn't on a laptop. This is what you get to from her laptop's cookies.
There's no water sampling or anything like that.
No. Then separately, she sorry. So separate to that, there are notes about pregnancy rates in the alligators, and there's some analysis in there. She had started to note that there seemed to be an increased incidence of mutated alligator births around about she's plotting out several coordinates, and they seem to be all, if we look at the map, the sort of southern half and downriver from there. Yeah, the she's not. Now some of them are upriver, so there's no mention of that location of the meat building in her notes, but she's got scattered around, and this appears to be the thing that she was trying to get to the bottom of, why there's some sort of mutated alligator births, quite often resulting in the alligator babies dying on birth. She'd found a number of essentially stillborn alligators. Okay, and there's no mention of the meat house or anything like it in her journal. Okay. Now, I'm just going to nip off while you start to work out what you want to do next. Okay. Yeah.
All right, so we've got a potential black site, which is possibly not government related.
Goes more to the illegal side of things.
Likely.
And weird children and stillborn alligators.
So in that case, that leads to more genetic manipulation then?
I think genetic manipulation is quite on the money. I mean, the name suggests March Industries Esotech. The
esoteric.
Yeah.
They're into this supernatural BS that you guys believe in then.
Well, you know.
Okay.
Even if it's not true, there's something wrong, right?
Oh yeah. Without a doubt. I mean, you know, if you're messing around with kids, that's a big no-no.
I think potentially the something in the byproduct of what they're doing has affected potentially the nearby families. I don't think there has been any direct involvement.
That makes it even worse then.
Exactly.
You know,
it's pollutive.
Okay, so you want to get into this building then, and you don't want to be seen to be going in, or do you want to actually back up the threat of getting the federales involved?
Well,
I don't think our position with Del Green will allow us to be that direct. Certainly not without a bit more backup as to if there's anything suspicious going on. And obviously, we'll have to clear up behind that.
Well, getting the full records off the police would be quite easy for me to do if it's all electronic. If it's going back to paper, then that'll be a bit harder. And probably do a bit of research into this company, see what.
If I'm being honest, what my read of Sheriff Rose is, I think he's on the take. In terms of what's going on there, he acted very suspiciously. In fairness, the reason we're here and not in Butler Rose is we didn't think it was particularly safe having faced down the woman at MIET to stay back there, especially as the sheriff knows where we were staying. I didn't
The
want
only
to didn't want to risk.
everyone's disappearing from Roll20.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Ooh, Tom's back.
yeah.
Tom's back.
That was weird.
Tom's back. Yeah.
I've had quite a horrible thought, but I don't know whether it has much merit to it. If it's true that it's truly horrific. But I was wondering why the sheriff would be on the take at all, except to prevent him from looking into the missing women.
So I'm not a law enforcement officer of any way, shape, or form. In the traditional sense, should we say? And I picked up a pattern by looking at some missing persons information. I can't believe a trained, experienced law enforcement officer would miss that. He might just be that stupid. He might just be that
He might
lazy.
just be that apathetic, but
Yeah.
I think
I mean, the more in the
From-
sticks you get, the more lazy and
He was
Potentially.
responsible he
very
gets.
keen to peddle the bright lights theory of people going missing.
my
Yeah,
concern
okay.
is now that whatever this tech is regarding, if it's to do with fertility and messing with genetics potentially, then young women of a certain age going missing every 6 to 9 months does seem concerning to me, regardless of their.
Just to put a scale thing on it, one thing I don't think that Moriarty mentioned in his summary, in the sheriff's office, there were missing persons posters up going back about 10 years. So this
I was 10 years.
10 years, there were about 20 people missing across 10 years. And most of those, not all, there were some men, there were some women outside of that age parameters who were about, it seemed to be one every 6 to 9 months. So that's about sort of 14, 15 missing persons over a 10-year period.
I'm sorry, my turn to go AFK. I'll be a minute.
Yep, sure.
All right.
Yeah.
In that
anyway.
case, what information have you got on this building? Have you got any sort of plans?
Just the information we have on the building so far is what we've seen from the outside, and I suppose the fact that we cannot get information about it seems also to be an indication to its
so
whoever
no,
is running this operation is obviously of someone of
so
influence.
no plans were registered with the local building regulations. Then is that right?
Andy, when we did our search into the like, would that have flagged anything?
You couldn't find the company. There's no record
Right.
of the company. So
Gotcha.
if there are buildings, it might be filed under a different company name or something like that.
Mm.
Can I do a bit of a deep dive with using my laptop?
Yeah, just to clarify a couple of things about the building. It's reached by a single dirt track. Yeah, so it's not even on a tarmac road, and it's right next to the river, but it's not. There's no dock at the river. Okay.
Yeah, so that's where we saw it initially. Was we were going past on our airboat, saw it, queried it, and the gentleman that had hired the boat to us and was driving it for us had mentioned that it was strange, but he'd not known anything about it, and he seemed sincere.
Oh, and sorry, one other thing, piece of information. I said most of that's swamp. You do get occasional bits of solid ground and possibly solid ground that goes up, rises up a little bit. It's built on a sort of raised promontory of solid ground. Okay. Agent Pye doing some searching. Okay. The right. Your skill is 60 in computer science. Just bear with me a sec. Um, you're right. Right. It takes you about an hour to hack into the local building control for the state. Or I'm not sure, it might be a county actually, first of all. And you scan back, and actually, um, uh, you find, for a long time, you find no records of any building on that site. But
Okay.
then going back far enough, you're getting into archives where someone has helpfully scanned in um, uh, building plans for buildings that were built before things were recorded on computers. And it seems to be that the building was built there, from what this is saying, assuming these plans are correct. It was built during the 60s. And but the building that Salem and Moriarty looked at is not. I mean, sorry, just one thing I haven't said to Pi and Ox. The year is currently 2018. Sorry, I haven't actually said that
Okay.
right at the start.
Okay.
So it's built in the 60s, and the building you looked at was a lot more recent than that. You'd have said probably 10, 15 years old, maybe 20. So the building plans you find are not,
Relevant.
they don't appear, it's highly doubtful they are for the correct building.
Does it have a company name on the original building plans that are scanned in?
Yes. Lathamar Holdings.
Did you put
And
that in chat?
I'll dive into that as well. See if I can chase a thread.
What is your
That's a good
bureaucracy
idea.
skill?
My bureaucracy is 51.
Oh,
Right. Can
nice.
you give me a bureaucracy check, please? Is anyone helping with this? Is anyone?
Yeah, I've got fairly good boxes, so
Right. Roll your bureaucracy first, please, Agent Moriarty. Sorry, is Agent Ox helping as well?
Yeah, I've got 40 on it, so I might as well.
Yeah.
Because especially when I have a look at plans, see like all the routes and stuff like that.
Yeah. So both of you give me. Right. So Agent
What?
Moriarty, you're. Oh well, actually, sorry. Is that bureaucracy roll? Okay. Agent Pie, was that? Did you? I was about to give you a potential bonus for
Oh,
others, but you've
you
already
told me to
succeeded
roll it,
yourself.
so I rolled
No,
it.
no, that's fine. You've succeeded, right. Agent Ox is able to help a little. Agent Moriarty isn't, but you succeed. It takes you a bit of digging, but Lathamar Holdings is a holding company. It's a shell corporation. It held various other things. It appears to have been gone into liquidation about 20 years ago, but that looks to you more like that's covering its tracks, liquidate assets, split up, and then probably ended up under another holding company of a different name. This looks like a very professional job of hiding ownership.
Okay. I can end up down a rabbit hole here, guys. If I keep chasing this, someone's done a good job at trying to cover their tracks.
We've got enough
Well,
to make starts on and get information on these people. Then
I think maybe our priority now needs to be infiltrating this building to see whether or not our young she a professor?
Doctor.
Doctor. That's it. Yeah, I know. Doctor is being kept somewhere. I'm acutely aware of how much time she's been missing, and I'm becoming more and more concerned. I'm hoping that we can. We're not looking for a body. I'm hoping. I may be incorrect.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what is your plan for checking out this building?
we just want to discuss that. So
we give a description of the building from the docks, not the dock, the riverside.
Yep.
And from the front.
Yep.
Regarding any security that we saw, cameras, presence. Did we see anybody? I'm assuming not, because you probably would have mentioned it whilst we were there. But when they leave, nobody's coming in to replace them for night duty, are they?
Not
Like in
that you
terms
saw.
of the lab techs.
You saw there were 9 cars. Sorry. There were 9 cars, and 8 of them left while you were there, with 9 people between them. It appears one car was a car share. The only car that seemed to stay was of the woman you had the argument with, who, if you remember, she went back inside the building. Right, she had gone to her car to leave, which is how you know it was her car. And then come over to talk to you, and then when it all got fractured, she went back inside. She then, you then left. You saw 3 security guards. Well, you saw the silhouette of one in a security office, and then 2 others who seemed not overly aggressive, well armed, well equipped, but not overly aggressive. And they had been on a foot patrol walking around. You saw that only when you drove up to the front gate. You didn't see them when you were on the river.
No.
Okay?
They were wearing MIT uniforms, or were they wearing the security company uniform?
They were wearing unbranded black.
Right, so no logos, no.
Just as a clarification, Andy, you say that the only car left in the car park was for the woman that went in. Yep. How does the security cards come and go? Or was there no vehicles?
Nope.
Okay, so that it was deliberate. Okay.
Yeah, there's not. That seems.
I thought maybe you'd made a mistake.
No,
but yeah.
No. You are correct to pick on that detail.
Yeah, so I mentioned that because it is highly unusual to me. I thought maybe the car left behind was 3 guards and they switched out at night or whatever, which suggests that they're either incredibly local, we didn't see any other buildings, or they're inside. And they are.
Assume that they're on site.
And there's likely double of them.
Yeah.
Because of shifts.
Or they
potentially triple.
Car shares the other option. The day team drive up, swap over, the night team, take the car back.
True, yes, that's
but unlikely. I don't appreciate.
Yeah.
Assume that they've got 3 shifts on rotation, and assume that the other 2 shifts are in a dorm somewhere inside. Then, if there's less people around, it doesn't matter. We've assumed that there's more.
Another assumption is obviously because they are out in the middle of nowhere, their energy source is likely going to be some kind of generator or something within the building itself, which makes it perhaps a little bit easier for us to isolate and make them a bit blind, take out their cameras and such not. Did we see on the security cameras whether they were wired or transmitted?
They're wired.
I'm not sure.
According
Okay,
to
so
according to plans that Agent Pye found, which are old, the building's not not connected to any main utilities.
Yeah.
But those are
okay,
Oh.
so no offense, but you're not exactly the most spry of people, are you?
We've mentioned this is why we asked for yourself and Agent Pye to come and aid us.
So do you want to get on site as well? Because that
Oh
will change
yes.
the plan. Okay, so you want to be able to get
I
on
may
site.
not look spry.
Sorry.
I have some ability.
And no offence, but you might not understand what you see when you get
no.
there.
Completely, because you believe in the supernatural, so sure.
I've also
No
got 3
worries.
doctorates.
So we have
So,
to get
hey.
you inside as well. We have to. Okay.
So I'm a professor of history and archaeology, I'll have you know.
How much? And you want to do this? How quickly?
What's the time of day, Andy?
you got there early evening, so it's probably 9 o'clock now.
Oh,
Do you want to go at night time? If you can go now.
yeah.
Up to you.
I think that well, I mean, you two, and I look towards Pye and Ox, and you two are probably better to advise us on the best time and such. We've given you all the information so far that we can think to give you. I would think that going in early hours of the morning, say 1, 2 o'clock, when things are expected to be quiet and the least amount of people that we can cause a disturbance to, the better. Obviously, if we are going to force our way in, I would appreciate if no one got hurt, but we would need to ensure a certain amount of secrecy is kept.
We could risk going in tonight. I'd be very short notice, underprepared, under-equipped. Or we could go in tomorrow night, but if time is of the essence, you say you saw 3?
Yes.
3 guards? Okay. And it's a decent sized site, 1 on the gatehouse, 2 on patrol, plus I'm assuming there would be 1 in control center as well with cameras. Okay.
There is potentially albeit it's a bit of a way out, there is potentially a stash of equipment, Delta Green equipment that we can access if
It's only an hour away, I think.
materials if you're after.
Okay, yeah, no, that could be a thing.
Was there anything in that green box, Andy, that would lend itself to infiltration? That
Not
sort of
that
thing.
you saw, but you didn't
Not that we
search the
saw.
entire
But we
thing.
didn't.
It
No,
seemed to be several firearms which you've picked up.
Yeah.
Just you. I would imagine that Pye and Ox would have noticed this, as Salem and Moriarty do appear to have a Ruger semi-automatic rifle, which is like a hunting rifle with a magazine attached, and a pump-action shotgun themselves, as well as any other firearms they may be carrying. Sort of.
Plus that Glock with the the extended magazine and
capabilities for full auto. That was it. Yeah.
Okay. When you were going past it on the riverside, was there any fences or anything blocking the building from the river?
Yeah.
Yes.
Did you spot any floodlights?
Did we spot any floodlights?
it was during the day, so they might not have been on.
No, but you'd be able
No,
to see them on the
able to see
poles.
or attached to the building.
Yeah.
Not that you remember, no.
Not that we
And,
remember.
and you had a
So
pretty good
what?
look at the building, more from when you drove up there to the front, and there were a lot of cameras, but there didn't seem to be any. You didn't seem to put any floodlights, no.
How big is the perimeter compared to the building?
At the back, where next to the river, probably 15, 20 feet.
Right, so
At
it's
the
quite a
front,
tight site then.
yeah, at the front, much bigger because there was a big car park.
Okay. So what I'm going to suggest is this: airboat, and then punt up to until we get closer. Then we punt up to the riverside. We go through the wire as long as it's not electrified, because that seems to be the area that is closest to the building and is got less observational points then. And then we're going to
There's
have to.
crocodiles out there.
Yeah,
Yes, the alligators, but the I think the more pressing thing is it doesn't have a docks, so it would not be easy. I understand
that's
that you'll
fine.
be able
That's-
to, yeah. Possibly. What is the fence type, Andy? Is it like those solid metal, like spokey things, or was it chicken wire or whatever fence that
Okay,
can be?
GM error. There is a
Okay.
dock. There is a dock. Apologies.
Oh my God,
There
this
is a
guy.
dock. Yeah, shit, GM. Um,
No, that's right.
there's a dock, and so there is also a gate for the dock that has a camera covering it, but is not.
Not guarded.
It's not guarded.
Single camera or many cameras?
There's a camera. You didn't get a chance to study it. You were going past on an airboat
Okay,
at the
that's
time.
fair. Yeah, yeah,
There was
yeah.
definitely a camera covering it. Whether it's been covered by others, you'd have to go and look.
Was that camera on the gate or on the building pointing towards the gate?
On the building pointed towards the gate.
So we couldn't even mess with it. Okay.
All the cameras are physically attached to the building looking out.
Okay. And what is as B was saying, what is the fence? Is it chain link? Is it railings?
Chain link fence.
Chain link fence. Okay. Cool. You say this is
Sorry,
the 1990s?
my memory is awful. There is a dock.
Okay. So do you say this is the 90s?
What
No,
year?
we're 2018.
2018. 2018. Oh, sweet. Okay, in that case. Did you see any night vision stuff in that green box?
Wasn't really looking for it, I'm afraid. Possibly you could go there, but I imagine, although I didn't see any floodlights, there's likely to be some sort of lighting if this is supposed to be a point of egress.
I was actually thinking,
If-
for us going in that way.
I think that if we go that way, we don't need to worry about the camera until we're inside, and then we can take care of any. Well, Agent Pye could possibly take care of any recordings of us, but it will likely alert them to our presence unless you
Depending
can
if they've
think
got
of a
somebody
way.
watching.
We don't know.
Yeah.
We can only if we go in fast enough, or potentially use some kind of distraction from the front, or yes, there's a couple of ways we could do this, but I I would prefer. Obviously, this is just my opinion on this. I don't know what Moriarty thinks, but I would prefer that we went sooner rather than later, tonight if possible.
Mr. Moriarty?
I share my colleague's concern for Dr. Carnegie. But at the same time, if you need a day to scout the site out, doing one more day, I don't think it's going to change her fate.
That's fair.
From what you've presented already, there isn't much more information we can actually gather. The locals aren't speaking. The plans, etc., haven't been registered properly. The sheriff is on the take. So there's the only thing that we could gain would be to gain some equipment, and that's about it. So I'm ready. We could go now if you wanted. There's nothing that I can do in that short period of time of one more day that will give us a significant advantage.
That is fair.
So your capabilities and with firearms and also your desires on lethality.
I was hoping that any guards that we would have to detain, we could do so. Hopefully, with keeping our identities.
That's easy enough for balaclavas. Do you have access to beanbag rounds for the shotgun?
What is a beanbag round?
It's literally that. It fires a beanbag. It's a non-lethal option to potentially knock people out. It definitely incapacitates them, and it's a lot easier to get them than any sort of, more specialist equipment.
Rubber slugs are also very good.
Yeah.
This week you did. I'm assuming Dr. Carnegie didn't have any tranquilizer equipment.
Oh my god. Alligators.
Yeah,
Come on,
she deals
Andy.
with alligators.
Give me a luck check.
Yes. Come on, Ian.
The answer is yes, but give me a luck check.
Yes.
Right. You noticed.
Yeah, she's all out of ammo.
Yeah. No. The reverse. You saw some tranquilizer rounds, but they're fired from a specialist tranquilizer gun. The tranquilizer gun was not present.
Gun is missing.
Gun is missing. Yeah. There were spare rounds. Also, you're fairly certain from some comment that she had an actual hunting rifle as well for protection. That was missing, but her tranquilizer gun is missing as well.
Yeah, but do you really want to be putting tranquilizers designed for alligators into human beings?
I mean, there's human beings.
Bullets.
I mean, anyone with a decent pharmacy knowledge would note that the tranquilizer gun number one, you'd probably have to dial down the force it fires the darts out with, as well as reducing the dosage. Yes.
Yeah, the dart goes straight through them like a bullet, and you're like, well.
Okay, are you going tonight? Are you going now then?
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
I say now. We'll probably try and time it so that it's between 1 and 2.
Okay.
So that it's that lull.
So, where are you going to go by airboat, or are you driving there? Because if you're going to go by airboat, my next question is where are you getting an airboat from?
We steal it
from
Jimmy. Jimmy with an IE.
We can acquire one.
Okay. So, you're going.
Do we want to go by airboat? Is that the Agent Pie? You haven't actually said anything about the plan. Are you happy with the suggestion that we go?
I mean,
considering you're the guy going to be doing the security codes and cameras.
I don't like the idea of going in the water. I don't really fancy my laptop getting wet, plus alligators.
No, there's the docks, which I forgot about, but
if you
can get me to some anywhere that I can sort of connect into their, guessing they're probably off. If they're off the grid power, they're probably off the grid with their servers.
So let's, in that case, if we do the front door, it's going to be more like a shock and awe sort of operation instead of a stealth operation if we go in the back door.
Yes.
But if we go in the front door, then assuming they would have some sort of monitors for the cameras in that guard hut.
possibly. But they would likely see us coming anyway. If anything, we could potentially. Well, no. At this time of night, there's no reason for them to have for any reason for us to have turned up. So it is likely that we can.
Yes, we can park on the dirt road, maybe about half a mile away. They won't see the car
Yeah.
lights. We just yomp in and take
If
it
there's
from there.
3 and there's 2 patrolling, potentially we can lure the ones patrolling out into the surrounding areas to take them out first before we head into
It's
the
adding a
actual
layer of
complex.
complexity. We might, if we're going to do the
Yep.
front door, we'll do the shock and awe thing, and we go in
Fair.
semi-quiet.
Take your lead on it. That is why you're here.
Okay. Are you okay for me
happy
to
to-
move on as a ref?
Yeah.
As a handler,
Yeah.
sorry?
So plan is to then drive down to about half a mile away, switch the lights off, walk in, get as close as we can to the guard hut. When there's only one person in the guard hut, I want to do a basic shock and awe into there to get him to that guard to put their hands up and not touch anything.
Right. Okay. So you drive back the route that 2 of you drove earlier on that day, and you get
We've got
about half.
balaclavas, yeah.
Yeah, all of you, all the
Yeah.
balaclavas up. You
Yeah.
get about. And sorry, are you going in the hire car that was on site before, or are you going in the hire car that Pi and Ox have got? So it's a different vehicle.
Could I try and find like a Toyota pickup or something like that and hotwire it, like an older model one that doesn't have the
Just straight up
computer on it?
Ilka.
Yeah.
Yep, certainly. What kind of skill would that be?
I mean, we could be really cheeky and go hotwire Deborah's car. Nobody's going to report it missing. Deborah had a pickup, didn't she?
Yeah, it's in.
It's on the docks.
It's on the docks in Boot La Rosa. So
Yeah.
that means going into Boot La
I'm sure.
Rosa.
I mean, we got to head through Butler Rose, do we not? To get down to.
Actually, no, you don't come in
Oh.
through Boot La Rosa. Sorry, we never actually talked
Okay.
about this before.
Apologies.
But yeah, but no,
No.
you come in from the sort of through from here, and then there's trails leading down, and then
I suppose it's only a little detour, though, isn't
Yeah,
it? It's
yeah.
about what?
Okay, so
Yeah.
Half an hour?
you go and acquire. Oh, I believe it's the criminology skill.
The lockpicking.
No, sorry, no lockpicking. Sorry, apologies.
Oh, hot wiring as well.
Yeah. Someone give me a criminology roll at +20.
Criminology. Okay,
Already have.
plus that gives me a 50-50 chance.
I might be
Better
better
than
at
me?
this.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Go on, Pi.
Plus 20.
What's
gives
what's
me-
Pi's check? Okay, never mind then.
I was 40 base.
So
Okay.
you could do it with a 60 then.
Yeah, so you can have a go as well, because the 2 of you
Okay.
are sort of helping each other.
And I put a modifier in.
Okay, so you get in. There's a couple of marks around the door handle that an expert might be able to tell someone has picked their way in. But you get in, you hotwire the vehicle. That hot wiring does cause a little bit of damage. And then, where are you going to leave your vehicle?
Well, if we go in the one that we originally hired, we'll leave it
Right
by
back.
the motel
Hang
because
on.
we never actually checked out.
Okay.
We just never went back.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So we just took our shit.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Can we look in this car as well, just to see if there's anything else? I'm probably in the back, but I've got a Tom. Oh, it's a battery. Um, yeah, I want to see if there's anything that she's got in here that is like, is the trank gun in here? I'm joking. The trank
No,
gun.
the trank gun is not.
No, but
Uh,
anything like folders or files or
no, nothing.
boxes of stuff.
There's various other bits and pieces. There's nothing
Okay,
of any direct relevance
pertaining
or
to.
use.
Okay, fair.
Okay. Tom sorting out a battery for his
Yeah,
laptop.
his battery is running low, so.
Right. Okay.
Quick question.
Go
Um, does our sanity repair at all, or is what it is?
on. It is what it is at the moment. Yes.
Okay,
We have to do
cool.
downtimes.
And we're doing one shot.
Andy has to let us do downtimes the next time we play instead of actually doing it.
Or if you succeed on something, you might get bonus ones for.
Okay.
I mean,
I just
bluntly,
realised after the last time, I'm quite close to losing my shit.
To be fair, I think I'm 10 away from losing my shit.
I'm 12.
Damn.
What do you have to be to lose your ship?
Breaking point. So what your breaking
Yeah.
point is
Oh,
and
got
your
you.
current. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm 8 points away from it.
Oh,
Okay, we're all close to losing our shit. I mean, last time was pretty horrific.
it was so bad.
is Tom back or?
I think he is. I say
Just
that.
hiding, is he?
Yeah, he might actually be.
You,
Oh,
There he
there
is.
he is.
Right there.
sorry,
Right.
actually.
No, it's brilliant. Right. Okay. So you go to Buet La Rosa, acquire
Rose.
Butler Rose, acquire Deborah's truck, leave yours at the motel you were staying in, and then make your way down to the Miet building. Okay, you stop half a mile away, out of sight. Proceed forward on foot. There's a lot of undergrowth either side of the road, so you can move along quite stealthily within that. It's a very you're in even though you're raised a bit up on because this is a bit of a natural ground sticking out of the bayou. It's even though it's nighttime, there's still insects around. It's cooler. It's still hot, but it's cooler. And there's a lot of insects and stuff still around, and it's still quite an unpleasant environment. I'm assuming you've all dressed in sort of fairly appropriate dark clothing with boots and balaclavas and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I'm assuming also that Ox is wearing his body armor but has removed any ATF tags from it. Okay, and as you make your way along the side of this trail, you get to get in sight, probably from about 100 meters from the edge of the fence. You can see the building and the fence, and you can see an external separate security hut, and you can see. Have we lost Kyle, or is Kyle?
No, I'm still here.
Okay, so
He's there. He's just invisible.
you faded out a minute from the picture, and you see. You can't make out any features, but there's someone in the security office, and the lights are off, or most of the lights are off, but they're lit by the sort of glow of various screens. Yeah, and they're so there's definitely someone in there. As I said, there are various cameras around, and you sit there for a couple of minutes, and then two more security guards wander in on a rotating pattern. Ox, you do notice several things. even at 100 meters, you're able to study and pick out a couple of things. So they're both wearing body armor. One of them has what looked to you to be a pair of commercially available civilian style night vision goggles. He's not wearing them. He's got them sort of on a strap around his neck, so he can put them up if needed. They're both armed with pistols and holsters at the hips, but also they've both got, slung on slings across their shoulders. They turn at one point, you get a decent view. They look to be sort of civilian issue clones of the M4 carbine, so a civilian version of assault rifle, but they've got extended magazines and what's called a bump stock, which effectively allows them to fire as if they're fully automatic weapons. So that's you're not entirely sure that's legal. It's certainly very, very close to fully grade military weapons.
Yeah, bump stocks are pretty much not in vast majority of the states. Extended mags is that I've no idea about. It's the bump stocks that are the interesting one.
Yeah, and
that's fine.
Okay, so they're very good. And Moriarty and Salem, the two men who are patrolling round, it's a clear night. There's quite a bit of moonlight. Actually, you two can give me alert. Actually, what are your alertness stats? Sorry, skills. It's just for you two.
40.
44.
44. Both of you can roll them, please.
Okay. Ah, beans.
Moriarty,
Hey.
you're fairly certain.
One succeeds, one fails. Sorry.
Wait, I've got to wait. Moriarty, you're pretty convinced that neither of these men are the two men you saw, you spoke to at the gate beforehand. So these do appear to be different guards. Okay. It looks like Ox. It looks like you get up to about. After about 100 meters away from the edge of the fence. After about 70 of those meters, the track widens out. So there's more passing room and stuff like that. And there's a big double gate in the fence, which is currently closed. It's closed with a big chain and padlock on it.
You said there was an external guard post outside of the gate.
No, outside of the building, inside of the fence. Inside the fence.
Sorry, that's my okay. Yeah.
But the fence is just a chain link.
Yeah.
Thingy, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay. How well lit is this?
There are a few lights on. There is not any super duper spotlights.
Oh. In that case, because we're so far away, I'm going to tend to these folks go. So we won't be able to bum rush the guard post. So that means we have to see if the fence is electrified and going via a dark spot.
Okay.
And you guys going slightly okay? Going slightly off track.
Taking your lead.
Okay.
Okay. Leading them round. What are your stealth skills?
60.
No.
30.
Oh, that'll be 13.
Oh.
I did tell you he was a slightly overweight, middle-aged man.
Yeah.
Right.
I'll ask you to stagger back about 10 meters. Yeah, so you three about 10 meters behind me.
Okay.
Sure.
After about 15, 20 meters of going as a blob, we're going, shit, they're fucking shit. They're shit. They're shit. They're shit.
Right. You you lead them round. So you're trying to find a right. As you're working around the building, several things. First of all, it's very easy to find a point that's out of view of physical view of the security office at the
Yep.
Yep. The, you see the two security guards who are on patrol. They appear to be walking a very regular routine. It takes them at least 10 minutes to do a lap, and they're just doing the same
time.
lap. So
Yeah.
there'll be some quite substantial gaps, and you work your way around. Can I have stealth checks from not from Ox, but from the other three of you, please?
Mr. Andy.
You can all have plus 20 to it because Ox is guiding you on what to do.
And it's done.
Andy, can I see if I can find a blind spot from the cameras as well? I've got an alertness of 60.
Right. Yes, that will be an alertness check at
Solidarity.
minus 20. Minus 20.
Minus 20. Sure.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry. So this was the stealth. So Agent Salem fail. Agent Moriarty failed. Agent Pike, can you roll your stealth, please, for me? At plus 20. You succeed. Oh no, sorry. Yes. You succeed. Yes, succeed. Right. So we've got one success, two failures. Neither of you fumbled, however. So Agent Ox and Agent Pie, it is quite terrifying moving with these other two in the undergrowth. They make what to you is an inordinate amount of noise, but they don't appear to attract any attention at all. Agent Ox, looking for gaps in the cameras. These cameras are well set up, but it takes you a long time. But you do find somewhere that is a concealed point. Yes.
Fabulous. And then when it's an appropriate time, see if I can check the fence, see if it's electrified or not.
There are no signs that it's electrified at all. And
Okay.
if you're conforming to regulations, you should state you should have signs up on it saying it's electric fence. And how are you going to test if it's electrified?
Literally, yeah. Voltometer, the little pocket voltometer. See if there's the ones that you put on a piece of electrical equipment to see if there's a current going through it.
There is no, it's not electrified. And the other thing that is confirming something, thinking back on it, there was the front gate wasn't isolated. So normally if you've got electrified fence, you'd isolate the gates.
Yeah.
But it's not. So yeah, it looks to be clear.
Yeah, cut a hole.
Okay, so I'm assuming you're timing this so you've got as much time after the.
Let them get away. Basically, let them get away 2 minutes, then cut it. So we've got 8 minutes to get everybody through.
Yep. It'll probably be actually more like 7 minutes because it'll be physical view of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, but you cut your way through, and then what are you doing? Are you going to try and mask up the cut so that it's hidden, or are you the only physical entrances you've seen to the building is a back door by the gate down to the river and a front door that comes out by the guard post?
I think we decided that we're going to do the guard post so we can get people actually just take control of the guard post.
Okay.
So I'll bend it back together and then just use zip ties to try and hide it.
Yeah. Okay.
And
So
then
all four
we'll
of
go
you,
towards the guard post.
all four of you pass through. That's no problem. Cut it through. All four of you pass through, and then you consider this, and then you're moving. Do you want essentially? Do you want to try and intercept the two patrolling guards first, or what do you want to do?
No, I want take the guard post so we've got eyes. We can see what the cameras are seeing,
Okay.
and then
So
take it
essentially,
from there.
you then probably end up following the route the guards took, but going ahead of them. Can I have further stealth checks from the?
Actually, do you know what? I'll actually say stay here in a slightly more hidden spot to the two people who are making all the fucking noise.
If they
And
stay
just
here, if they
yeah.
stay
With
here,
regards.
the patrolling guards will come across them before you've got to the security post.
All right.
So no, I don't need a stealth check from Ox. I need further stealth checks from the other three of you, though, please.
Is there any way I can help them?
Still
They
got
get
the plus 20 or not
for
anymore?
your help.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Moriarty
Holy
succeeded.
shit.
Stop making all the noise.
Right.
Shit.
Right.
It's the Scooby-Doo gang.
Sorry, I need to just look something up. Is there alertness?
This isn't my field of expertise.
Was earlier.
Got breaking entry. It's just luck. That'd have been a fail if I didn't
Okay.
have your help.
Yeah.
He failed his alertness check. Right. You come up towards the rear of the security office, and as far as you can see, the man inside is unaware of your presence.
Yeah, and the other two guards have gone off, so we've got
They're not
6-7
inside.
minutes.
Yeah, you should.
Yeah.
You've probably got at least 5 minutes on them.
Excellent. In that case, shock and all. It's literally going to be a case of see if the door's unlocked.
It's
Do
not
that whole quite. Yeah. In that case, open the door, come up behind him, and put the barrel of the shotgun to the back of his head.
Okay. Fuck what? Fuck what?
Right. Just quiet.
He's got a whole bank of screens.
Yeah.
Each one is split into individual camera views, so it's not cycling between them. But he's got a lot of screens to look at, and as you glance at them, you see at one point some movement of the two guards walking out of one screen, and then they appear in the one next. They're set sequentially, so you can actually follow people around.
Excellent. Hands behind your back, around the chair.
He complies. He sort of leans forward in his chair, puts them behind. There's a rifle right next to him and a pistol in his hip holster.
Put the zip ties on him.
Yep.
Zip tie cuffs. Nice and simple.
Yep.
And then wave this lot in and close the door.
Okay.
Have we got a nice couple of pillowcases we can stick one over his head?
No. In case these guys walk past, we can't let them. Was it all?
We're going to intercept them anyway, aren't we?
Yeah. Was it all Was it all windows?
Yes.
This is. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think that's going to be an option.
Yeah.
But
but we can duck down below the window so we can actually surprise them, as it were.
Okay.
So if he's got like a pillowcase on his head, they'll think there's something going wrong there.
He doesn't need to be sat in his chair for it. He can be on the floor, but.
So you've zip tied him, and are you leaving him sat in his chair, or are you? Okay.
Sat in his chair.
Okay.
Sat in his chair.
Disarmed, obviously.
But I'll pull the chair away from the desk in case there's any sort of panic button that he can reach.
Okay. He glances around. I mean, there's 4 of you come in.
Yeah.
He glances around. Now, just to be clear, in terms of weaponry, are Moriarty, are you carrying that rifle, and Salem, are you carrying the pump action shotgun?
Yes.
Yeah. I was just wondering why I just have the handgun because I'm not sure I'm going to be. I'm
Not sure, have the
I'm
handgun.
carrying a gun. Sorry.
If you're not sure, have the handgun.
Yeah, I don't think I'll bring the rifle. I've probably got the Glock.
Have you attached the silencer to it?
Yes, very James Bond-like. Yes,
Yeah. Okay.
just because it's there.
Okay. Have you
Do it.
Have you
No.
physically left the rifle behind, or are you carrying it, or have you passed it, offered it to Agent Pye, or what do you want to do?
I wouldn't have taken it, but when we was talking about equipment, we made them aware of it. So if anyone has taken it, they're perfectly
Pye,
welcome
do
to
you
it.
want to
Obviously,
have a rifle?
Don't think I'm that confident with
Okay, no, that's fine.
big guns, to
No,
be
okay,
honest.
okay, right. So what they can see is this guy glances round, and I think the thing that probably shits him up the most is actually a silenced pistol. Yeah, because that in his head is they could have shot me dead if they wanted to. So if I comply, I might live. So he sits there bolt upright. What do you want me to do? What do you want me to do?
Right. How many people are on site?
Just myself and my two buddies who are walking the perimeter.
Excellent.
Is he lying?
What's your human score?
40.
Only 30.
I've got 50.
I've got 30. So.
Right. Because the 50 is enough to be set. He's crapping himself. He's telling the truth, and Pye's certain of that.
Yeah, I'll
Okay.
confirm he is. Is
Yeah.
there anywhere I can plug into the screens with my laptop?
Absolutely, yes.
I'll be plugging in and
Yeah.
Right.
computer screen in night mode.
Fairly doing what mode? Sorry.
In night mode, so the screen glare isn't extra.
Yeah. You pick up the cameras have all got infrared capabilities.
Ooh.
So they're really quite sophisticated cameras, and you pick up. It may produce the image, but the human element failed to then see it on the camera. You pick up footage of, what was it? It was Pye and Salem inside the compound, and Salem and Moriarty outside the compound. But I mean, they're just figures in balaclavas carrying various firearms. There is footage of them at various points on various cameras. So you scrubbing that?
Yeah, I was going to scrub that and try and get all the system on a loop. Basically, get the last two previous rounds and just have it. They just keep walking around in circles, get the last 10 minutes, clean 10 minutes beforehand, or clean circle beforehand, and just have that on a loop for the next couple hours.
Yep. Okay, that sounds fine.
Or indefinitely until someone realizes.
Yep, that sounds good.
How far back does the storage go? Have they got like records from like the last 2 weeks?
They no, it's only for the last 24 hours. And from looking at the computer signals, anything there seems to be a regular routine here which dumps the every hour 24 hours ago or 23 hours ago is dumped to some sort of remote storage. You can figure out actually that where it's going to is not within the building. It's somewhere off site.
So it's communicating out.
Yes.
Outside, so we have got external access to.
Yeah. You're pretty certain that this has got this is actually also just with your general experience of tech. This is connected both definitely to a proper mains power grid and a proper mains internet grid.
So they're lying about being off the grid. or it's being falsified that are off the grid.
Well, that was when it was built in the 1960s.
Yeah.
So that clearly has changed.
Okay.
The other thing that Ox, you notice, is that he's got a set of keys on his on a little key ring.
Yeah.
But looking at it, they are just keys. They look to you like a key for the security office, a key for the padlock on the front gate, and a key probably for a padlock on the back gate. He does not appear to have keys to the building.
Okay. Obviously, take the gun, take the keys, and
you spot on the cameras the other two guards patrolling around, and they'll walk not actually very close. They'll walk sort of 15 meters away from because they're walking the perimeter, and the security officer set back. So they walk past. Do you let them go? Do you want to do anything?
If we all duck down for now, then we've gained an extra 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if we all duck behind and obviously make sure that he knows there's guns pointing at him.
Yep.
Yeah, we're all under the desk like this.
Yeah.
Move and we'll shoot.
Yeah.
He's complying.
Yeah.
Do you have a walkie-talkie? Are they in contact?
There is a walkie-talkie. His is sat on the desk. It is turned. It's actually it's sat on the desk in a charger point. It is turned on. There's a sort of faint hiss from background noise.
Yeah. Do any of the cameras show inside the building?
Nope.
Excellent.
How do we get in?
I'm good. I say.
Do we get him to call his mates in here and we jump them as well?
Potentially. I just want to find out something first. Do you have access to that building?
Nope.
Do either of your friends have access to that building?
Nope.
Okay. How long have you been working for this company?
3 years.
What do they do?
Medical research.
Okay.
I think.
You think?
That's what I was told when I was given the job. I was guarding a medical research laboratory.
Okay.
Pays well.
Yeah. Are your friends very much gung-ho macho man type?
If you want me to get them to just... I can get them to surrender if you want to.
Insight check.
That's human. What's
Human
your human
on this
score?
one. 40.
Right, you can roll that.
Yeah.
You're unsure whether he's telling the truth or not.
Yeah.
So what about me?
You can roll it as well with 50 on this one. He's telling the truth.
Yeah.
Yeah, it sounds like his mates will give up rather than see him get his brain splattered.
And we want you to check in that paycheck at the end of the day, don't we?
Yeah, though. It might just rough me up a little.
We can do that as long as... Actually, no, we won't do that because there's no sign of us coming in, is there?
Well...
And you won't know...
Let's see once we realise.
He looks a bit worried. He looks even more worried by that.
Yeah.
Okay.
If there's no evidence of us being here, you won't need to worry about that, will you?
Okay. Are you then calling in his two mates?
Yeah.
Okay. To cut a long story short, he calls on the radio, tells them to pop in when the Knicks come past, and they come in and then have 4 firearms pointing at them. He says to them, "Don't do anything stupid," and they surrender, and you get them disarmed and trussed up as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, can I want to go into their wallets and take their driver's licenses, because you have to carry your driver's
Their
license in the
address.
States.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm taking and I'm going to make it obvious that I'm taking it. I'll mention their addresses. Okay.
Yep. Okay.
Yeah.
They look suitably worried. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. You've secured the guards. You've got control of all the cameras.
Yeah.
What do you wish to do?
It's going to have to be a check out the doors now, see if they're key cards or if they're locks. Let's see if we can get in that way.
You go up to the front door. The cameras are neutralized, so that's no concern. And what you're presented with is there is a keypad for a fingerprint scan, and there is also, actually specifically a thumbprint scan, and there is also a physical lock that requires a key.
Okay.
I don't think we're going to be evidence-free of breaking into this bit.
No.
So,
see, if you try and bypass the keypad thing, I'll try and pick the lock. Actually, I'll just use the lockpick gun, so it'll be a. Do you know how they work, Andy?
Yeah. They're not undefeatable. They're not automatic. But your lockpick skill will effectively be, your it will be your dexterity stat times 5. So that's that 65 box after it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then the lockpick gun will give you. No, sorry, actually, the lockpick will give you a bonus that it will be automatic. So it will be automatic, just on the skill again. So you do that lockpick, and then your computer science is 60, isn't it?
Yes.
Yep. So there is physical evidence for this, because forensically you can tell.
I suspect.
Sorry. With the lock, you can see that it's been a lockpick gun has been used. It will leave scratches.
Yeah.
And with the keypad, you've had to take it to pieces. Give me a computer science check just to see if you managed to take it to pieces, to open it and put it back together without leaving any signs. Just give me a computer science check.
Oh no.
No, you've opened it, but you have broken it. It is actually physically broken, but open. Okay.
There's absolutely no way that we're going to go away with this.
Yeah.
We do.
We tried. We tried.
Right.
I turn to Moriarty and I go, next mission, can you get some chloroform maybe? Something a little less.
I'll turn to say chloroform takes about 5 to 10 minutes to take effect. It's not instantaneous.
I
like
don't
the
care.
movies.
We had tranquilizer. Why didn't we use it?
Because it's alligator tranquilizer.
We're just bickering at the door now.
Half it.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't do the tranquilizer gun.
Okay.
Don't snip at me just because I broke the pad.
I'm working with amateurs. Under my breath.
I'm a computer specialist, not a hacker.
When we come
I'm
to
a
what's in
doctor,
this
not an
building,
engineer. Sorry.
when we get inside this building, you may become the amateur. So just go a little bit careful.
Back up.
Right.
Yeah. All right. Yeah.
The upper floor. Sorry. This floor is you look round it. It does not look like any sort of medical facility that Moriarty's ever seen before. It looks like clerical offices. This looks like an office building. Yeah. And there's meeting rooms, several offices. there's actually more. There's quite a number of offices that appear to not be used. I mean, there's you observed a total of 10 staff, including the woman. There's and actually going around looking at it, it seems that probably only 7 desks are actually set up and working. Yeah.
Is there an obvious corner office,
Uh,
i.e. the best office in the...
Yes, there is a senior, the largest office, and that has in fact, sorry, I'm wrong. There are 10 desks being used. Sorry, but yeah, the most senior one is someone called. It says it painted on the door, Dr. Kelly Strand.
I'll make a note of that.
Okay, and there's various computers in there and so on. There are no laptops. All of the computers are desktops. I mean top range desktops, but there's a definite setup to avoid people taking computers away with them.
That's all right.
Okay.
So I'll just have the hard drives out of half of these once
Yeah.
I've worked out what's important on her.
Going shopping, just.
There are also a lot in this central main office. There's a lot of filing cabinets. Okay. But the other thing that is the most obvious thing that is strange, where is it gone? Is that there is you're searching around and just opening doors, seeing what they lead to, and so on. And the first thing that strikes you as odd is you find a lift door, and the second thing you find is next to it is a door that opens to a spiral staircase going down.
In a
I
swamp.
thought, yes. Well, I'm
Yeah.
assuming it's the subterranean level will likely be completely man-made and secure. I hope either that, or we're about to go underwater. Let's not leave those gentlemen out there too long unless they have any foolish ideas. Start
I
going
would
down the stairs.
say after all your time, it's now, let's say 2 a.m.
Yep.
You want to knock them out so they're.
I think they understand. Well, it's up to you. They want to be roughed up. I couldn't say. I think probably maybe Moriarty or Ox could probably effectively knock them out without hurting them too much.
I can give it a go. I can definitely put
well,
them in sleep. I can definitely put them in sleeper holds, but I don't knock them out that way. Although there's no guarantee how long they'll be asleep for.
or I could use this sedative.
Oh yeah, in that case, yeah.
Yeah, do that.
So you nip out, knock the 3 of them out with sedative, no problem. Right. While the various checking out. What do you want to do? Do you want to search an office? Do you want to go down the stairs, down the lift? What do you wish to do?
Oh, sorry. I thought we'd
Pie's
already
really
searched the office.
tempted to.
Hmm.
Pie's really
Sorry,
tempted
there's
to.
filing cabinets and there's computers. I don't know if you want to get into
Ah.
the. Sorry, what did you say, Carl?
Pie's really tempted to hit up the head researcher's computer and see what actually
I'm
came
going to
up on
take
this.
the filing cabinets.
Right.
Research is my thing.
Okay.
So just
Okay. So you spend some time doing that. Okay. Can
I say this. I say the same. Anything medical, just shout. Just give it a shout.
Right. I need to go to there. Right. Can I have what is right? Let's start actually with Pi.
Yep.
What is your computer science skill is 60. What's your search skill?
Search is 40. Sig int. I can't remember what that was.
That's more
That
for
was
code
same.
cracking and things like that.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
What is it though?
63.
Right. So that is good enough to. This computer has a lot better security on it, electronic security, but with that SIGINT score, you can hack your way past it. That's no problem. So you've bypassed her security and get into this. In fact, give me a SIGINT check. Actually, thinking about it.
I'll go and search wherever I'm directed to search. I've got a search skill of 50.
Okay.
So you're
Come
aware.
back to that. So let me just finish off the electro stuff. Right. As you're hacking your way in, you prevent an alert being sent from that to somewhere. There is a system set up to alert that someone has bypassed security and got into this computer, but you prevent it from activating.
There's some quite clever defensive setup on this.
Ooh.
It's a good thing you came along.
You then have discovered vast amounts of medical files. Yeah, it's now a medicine skill check to understand it. So that might be.
Moriarty, I think this is you.
Okay.
What is
Otherwise,
Moriarty?
I'm just scanning for keywords.
What is your medicine skill, Moriarty?
80.
80. Jeez.
Oh.
Right.
He's a surgeon.
Yeah. Okay. This will take you. I mean, it's just a sheer volume of stuff to read, but there appear to have some kind of test subject here, and the core of the experiments appear to be about taking semen from that test subject and impregnating further test subjects. And that's what appears to be going on, and appears to be going on for a long time. Cross-referencing with stuff in all the filing cabinets have got locks on them, but Ox is able to open all of those, and there are written records. This appears to have been going on since the 60s. So the initial records are all paper copies, and all that's it. And there's a lot of. They appear to be doing other tests with the test subject, but because you're looking at particularly in relation to missing women, the impregnating women appears to be in there as well. Okay.
This is a mixed up ship.
Do we call in
Cool.
Oculus and let them know what we've found so far?
Not yet. We haven't finished this particular mission.
Where you are, by the way, in the Bayou, and particularly in this building, you have no phone signal.
Sorry, can Pi tell whether the data he's looking at, is it on this PC or is it in some sort of cloud storage?
No, it's on this PC.
Take it.
Can I have, what was the search skill, please, of the people looking through the paperwork? It seems to be led by Salem. So what's Salem's search skill, please?
I'll probably do it with Ox. Me and him can go through it.
Okay, what's Ox's search
but yeah,
as well, then, please?
my search is 60. Do you want me to do a roll?
Mine's 50.
Okay. Can Ox make a dice roll, please?
Yep.
To see if you're, because this is an assist roll.
Yeah.
And just doing that flat.
So
24.
Nice.
that gives you a bonus of 20 to Salem's, which makes it then automatic. You find something. No, you didn't need to roll.
All right, I know. Sorry, I thought you were.
Yeah,
plus 20
if you'd have failed, you've had to make a roll at 60 because this is very difficult to find. You find this is totally unrelated. There's a document. In fact, there's a couple of documents, and this building apparently was originally called, or the code name for it was YY-111, as in YY3. YY Roman numeral 3. So actually,
YY
YY dash I
111.
I for
I.
for Roman numeral
Okay.
3. Sorry.
I.
And that appears to be a code. It's actually stated that's the code name of the building when it was first originally built.
Okay. Is that all we find?
Yep, that probably
Or is
takes you about. There's loads more to do here, but it would take you more time. That's your. Sorry. You spent half an hour. It's 2:30 in the morning now. That's after half an hour's digging through and piecing things together and stuff like that, and searching around the building. Okay.
I think
Yeah,
perhaps. Yeah, go on.
I say to Pi, we need that hard drive.
Okay, I should be
If
able
you
to do
get
that.
it without setting off any sort of triggers or.
Are you?
What
What's Pi doing?
I want to power down the computer and take out the hard drive and put it in my laptop bag.
Right. What is your? Is it alertness or awareness? What's the skill? I forget the name
I
of
think
it.
there's alertness.
My alertness is 40.
Right. Can you give me an alertness check, please?
Oh, so
Damn.
close.
I know.
Right.
Get so far.
As you are removing the hard disk, a small incendiary charge goes off that melts the hard disk.
Fuck.
Oh shit.
And you take 1 point of damage.
Wow. What was that?
Oh fuck.
Their security is a lot higher than expected. They've got booby.
Traps. This isn't the Goonies, mate.
But from the paperwork that's in the written records, it's certainly a lot of the records, if not all of them, are in a written form and then also on an electronic form as well.
Right,
You just
okay.
have lost the ability for a easily portable version. So the filing cabinets appear to have lots of information in them as well.
It's probably worth. Is it easy to date the filing system? So take sort of one or two recent ones, one or two.
Highly organised. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you
just pluck something that gives me a sort of timeline of.
Okay. Okay. Yep.
Do we perhaps want to grab anything that is of importance now we've searched through this stuff and make our way to the whatever is below? I want to see if they're.
It's
keeping
11
anybody.
o'clock.
Mm.
Don't think I was hoping we'd finish this tonight.
I don't think we're gonna. Yeah.
So I
think
think that is a good place to leave it before you start going downstairs.
Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay.
And
So-
now it needs all four of us to be there next time.
Makes it
And
more
another agent will just
parachute in.
No, I'm joking.
Right. Okay. Thanks everyone watching. We will eventually finish this scenario. This is supposed to be a one shot, but after 3 sessions, we still haven't bloody finished it. But I'm
You're
having
players,
fun.
know.
We're having fun.
Yes, everyone's having fun. So I like some of the banter. It's really good. Right. Okay. But thanks all for now, and there will be another episode soon, hopefully. Thanks. Bye.
Yes, folks. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.